What's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Redefining Issued Equipment. And in this video we're going to be going over the Arbor Arms SPCS, or the Soldier Plate Carrier System Gen 1 Flex Cummerbund kit, and how it competes with the standard cummerbund that comes with this plate carrier, as well as from there actually dive into the actual process of setting up the cummerbund on this plate carrier, so that way you have essentially the most information available to you to be able to determine whether or not this cummerbund is something you may want to purchase for your plate carrier to enhance your ability to carry mission essential equipment, operate in a broader operational environment spectrum, as well as carry whatever specific duty position equipment that you may need to carry. So with that, we'll briefly go over the specs of the actual cummerbund kit, and then from there we'll dive into that brief comparison of the cummerbund systems, and then we'll get into that assembly portion there at the end. So with that, when it comes to the cummerbund kit, they're going to cost you roughly about $165 to $200. You will get a left side and a right side cummerbund with either the Tactics buckles and or the First Spear tubes buckles. You'll also get your cutaway system connector that will replace the cutaway system that's up here in the front for that standard system, and then you'll also get this attachment piece for the back side of the cummerbund for that rear plate bag and the little Velcro portion that it Velcros into, and then connects all of that cummerbund together. With that, you do have a couple of options when it comes to this system aside from just the cummerbund buckles themselves. You can, like I said, go with that First Spear tubes or the Tactics buckles, and then in addition to that you can also choose in between a 2 and a 3 strand MOLLE cummerbund. When it comes down to it, I would recommend going with the 3 strand MOLLE cummerbund. It is a little bit more structurally sound, I guess you could say. It's not going to want to like pull away from your body as much as the 2 strand. And then in addition to that, it's going to give you that extra real estate for some of those larger issue pouches that you may be receiving from CIF and RFI and all that. So I would recommend, if you have the Soldier Plate Carrier System, go with 3 strand. The buckles really don't matter. It really comes down to going with the 3 or the 2 strand. So like I said, my recommendation is the 3 strand. With that, with this cummerbund, what it's going to do for you when it comes down to those like minute details is this is going to be able to enhance your ability to breathe. It's going to enhance your mobility. It's going to feel more comfortable when it comes down to it. And then in addition to all of that, that extra MOLLE space is going to enhance how much you can carry and enable you to carry additional mission essential equipment or duty position equipment in a more comfortable manner than trying to like squeeze everything into a really tight, compact space, due to just the nature of how the standard MOLLE cummerbund, or just the standard cummerbund, is set up without really any MOLLE. So the only caveat with this whole thing is you will have to purchase additional plate bags to be able to carry your side plates if you're required to wear those. So that is an additional purchase that you're going to have to make, but there are some really affordable options out there as far as that goes. With that, these will not work with the issued side plate pockets, so that's why you're going to have to purchase them. So with that, just a brief quick caveat, I do have this kind of pre-staged for some follow-on videos for a baseline setup for this plate carrier that will address pretty much every duty position, and then from there you're just building off of that baseline specific to whatever role that you're in, whether it's leadership, 40mm grenadier, a machine gunner, a rifleman, an RTO, and all of that. So we're going to get into all of that as well following this video and the follow-on episodes. So with that, that's kind of that brief comparison between this system and the old system. I don't have the old system put together or anything like that. I completely disassembled it and removed it so that way we could focus on this. So just something to think about, but highly recommend this over that standard system. The standard system just does not do the justice that it should, and it does not provide you the space that you need or the real estate that you need to be able to run all the equipment that you may need to run. So with that, when it comes to the setup of this thing, it is super simple. There aren't a whole lot of moving pieces. The only thing that you're really going to have to remove is that cummerbund system and you can see how to take all of that stuff apart in one of the previous episodes. And then from there, you're just going to take your cutaway system, integrate it into your two cutaway portions right here, into the side of the plate carrier, and then you're just going to wrap that cummerbund around and then buckle it into this Velcro piece in that rear plate bag portion. So with that, when it comes to setting it up, go ahead and pull that cutaway system tab out, and then just start the cutaway cables in their little holes on the left and right side. And then from there, just going to reach down into the plate carrier, pass this through your shoulder straps. If I can find it. There it goes. So pass that through that shoulder strap, pull it all the way through. Go ahead and do that on that other side as well. From there, just pull those shoulder straps to just make sure that those are properly connected. And from there, you're going to take your two running ends. That cable is going to pass right here, and then you have your two slots, top and bottom, for your cummerbund. You'll go ahead and open all of that up. If you can, pull that D-ring out, and then pass that cutaway system through both the top and bottom portions like so. From there, just secure that top loop and that D-ring, pass it back through that little slot and opening on the side of the plate carrier, and then pass that cable through the top portion, and then do the same down here at the bottom for this guy, and pull that all the way through. Once you have that secure, you're just going to take your cable and stow it in that cable slot right there at the bottom of that plate carrier. Then same thing on the other side. Pull that D-ring out, pass the top portion through, and then pass that cable through it as well. And then come down to the bottom one, pass that through the D-ring and through that cutaway portion, and then go ahead and stow that there in the front retainer at the bottom of that plate carrier. From there, you're just going to go ahead and test this, make sure that this doesn't come out, you don't have any issues with your cutaway system. Reposition your cutaway pull tab if you need to, and then that completes setting up the front portion of that plate bag cutaway system. And then if you want to, you can always test your first spear tubes, make sure that they're properly working, and then reconnect them like so. From there, we're going to flip this over to the back side. And we're going to set up our Molly Cummerbund in the rear plate bag. So for this, you're just going to open up that rear plate bag, take a peek inside, find where all those slots and holes are. You can kind of see them all there. You have your top one right here. If you can see it, if you got that top one, it will stay open. You got the top one right here, your middle, and then you have your bottom right down here. So with that, how this sets up inside the interior of this guy, you have these little clips that go through these little channels on the side. Those just clip in place like that, and then you have your left and right side systems to work with. With these, they open and close on both sides, so they're super easy to set up. If they break, not a big deal. They're super easy to replace as well. So one thing that I would recommend, it doesn't really come with a whole lot of extra materials or anything like that when it comes to this portion. I would recommend purchasing a couple extra of these, so that way if they do break, you have those replacements for them. But What will happen when you set your cummerbund up is you'll pass it through the channel, and then depending on where you want to or where you need to fit this to your body, you'll just find that elastic MOLLE loop that you need and open that up and then close it on itself, and that will prevent the MOLLE cummerbund from opening up on you and shifting left and right when you have this whole thing set up. And you'll just do that all the way down for all 6 strands, on 3 on the left and 3 on the right. So with that, we'll go through it, kind of position this in here, and then when it comes to positioning it, you're going to want that Velcro portion to Velcro in roughly on these 3 strands of MOLLE on the interior, and you'll see you have this whole Velcro portion, so you're just trying to line that up as much as possible with those MOLLE loops, so that way when you put this all together, you don't have any weird like angles that it's coming in on. The top one will always come in on a weird angle, but the bottom one is the one that you really don't want on a weird angle because it will make it a little bit uncomfortable. So with that, for me, I need to count off about 7 slots on the cummerbund, and that's roughly where I'm going to be set, at least in a small, for the cummerbund for myself. So from there, you're just counting off all of your slots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then from there, you're just going to pass this in. Grab that 7th slot, and then just go ahead and clip it right into that clip, like so. You'll hear it clip, and then it will likely just that you'll have a little bit of excess. One thing you can do when you're setting this up is you can actually pinch the MOLLE like so, and then pass that MOLLE cummerbund kind of back towards the opening, and that will help keep it a little bit cleaner, but you don't have to do that. It's just one thing that I noticed when I was playing around with this the first time I was setting it up. So completely up to you when it comes down to it, but not necessary by any means. So that's the top strap. Go ahead and do the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pass that through the middle. Secure that 7th slot. Open it up and then clip it into place. And then same thing down here at the bottom. Count off those slots. And then for this bottom one, the nice thing is you just have to open up that bottom pocket, pass that through, and then clip it into place like so. And then from here, for this bottom one, I do like to pass it through that bottom portion just to help keep it secure and out of the way. From there, doing the same thing on the other side. Going to the top, count off your slots, pass everything through, and then secure that on that MOLLE strap clip. There's one. Good. And there we have it. And that really, when it comes down to it, is all you have to do to set this guy up. So from here, just a couple of recommendations. You have all of these loose straps that are hanging pretty much from here. With these, I would recommend rolling them up roughly 2 MOLLE sections per roll, and then just using a paper tape or a masking style tape to tape those and secure them. And then what you'll do in addition to that is once you get these all rolled up, you can go ahead and take a little bit of additional masking tape, and I can kind of show you here at the bottom. So I have my 2 running ends. I roll this up. It gives you roughly about that much space in between your 2 clips, so it'll cover up that roughly 2 inches of Velcro, and then you're just doing the same with this side. We'll actually S-fold this side, and then you just take that paper tape. I would wrap each section individually, and then I would also give a wrap around all of these to help secure everything right there, so then that way you don't have a bunch of excess running off to the left and to the right. If you want to go a little bit further beyond that, you can also just bifold it. It'll help kind of streamline it, keep it closer to the body to where you don't have as much kind of height off of that roll, and you can paper tape that as well, and then that will give you just a flatter surface to work off of on the back side of the plate carrier, rather than having something super tight when it comes down to it. So just a little recommendation when it comes down to that. If you don't have paper tape, 100-mile-an-hour tape will work, electrical tape will work, duct tape, all of that stuff. It'll all work when it comes down to it. So it's really up to you and what's going to be the most comfortable for you. So with that, once you have all of that taped up and you have it secured in the way that you want it all set up, you're just going to go ahead and Velcro back over itself, and then just pull that cummerbund out just a little bit, make sure it's where you need it, fit it, adjust it as needed, and then from there you're going to have that completed MOLLE cummerbund for your individual SPCS plate carrier. So with that, if you have any questions, please feel free, leave a comment. We will help you out in any way that we can when it comes to setting up your plate carrier with this plate carrier cummerbund. And again, just to reiterate it, when it comes to this cummerbund compared to the older system that comes with the plate carrier, this provides a lot more MOLLE, so it will enhance your ability to carry mission essential and specific duty position equipment. For an operational environment standpoint, it does breathe substantially better than the issued one, so you will be a lot more comfortable and you won't get as hot when it comes to all of that. And then with the elastic, it will increase your ability to maneuver. The cummerbund will react to your breathing, so it will expand and contract, which definitely makes breathing a lot easier and just makes the whole entire plate carrier a lot more comfortable when it comes down to it. So with that, again, if you have any questions, please feel free and ask. We will help you out in any way that we can. And with that, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.